Yo, what's up, guys? Lowercase Ellen here, aka the editor for the YouTube channel. Just dropped by to make a quick little intro for this Shakobolic video here. This is the second part of the whole live stream, that we did with Shakobolic. The whole coaching seminar that we had specifically made for jungles, right? So it starts pretty abruptly, right? Because we're trying to cut the whole stream into pieces so that's better for the viewing experience. But yeah, if you guys have any feedback on anything, go ahead and put it down below. And for any jungles out there that are actually watching this, pay close attention because, I deep inside me, I just wish that my jungles in solo queue would actually just know how to gank, right? So yeah. Anyways, that's it for me, and enjoy the video. Later.
Next one, how to actually understand who are we supposed to gank early on. How to know to make a prioritization that I have been speaking about a little bit earlier on. 1 to 3, how to make a proper prioritization. Who do we want to gank? Well, this is not as hard as many people, make it to be, right? Why do I say this? Because many people usually seek for the wrong information, right? But the only stuff you need to be thinking of is if the lane has some CC or if the lane is snowbally, okay? I think CC is pretty much self-explanatory. It's pretty much crowd control. Any lane that you can kind of see that has, stun, slow, hook, whatever, you do want to gank it because it's going to allow you to get a fed early on, and start a snowball. So now, snowbally actually has two meanings. The first meaning of snowbally is if we have an ignite, right? If you have a laner which is running ignite, or if you have a laner which is going melee, right? Whenever you have two melee guys, right? Let's say we have like two melee guys on top lane, right? And they're trying to farm each other's minions. Every single time, let's say Camille tries to hit the Jax minion, she will need to decide if she wants to lose the trade versus the Jax or if she wants to finish off their minions. So in melee type of lanes, whether it is a melee lane top lane or melee lane mid lane, you always want to be paying close attention because these lanes usually will be under 70% of the HP, usually, which you will be able to double down on and then, make your fortune ganking early on and starting a good snowball. Ignite, pretty self-explanatory, the same way as CC. Once you see somebody running Ignite instead of TP, you know he's going for the snowball, and this is usually onto the mid lanes. You can see something like Fizz versus Yasuo versus sometimes very rarely Amir, right? Talon, LeBlanc, all of those guys like to run Ignite. So you definitely want to be paying attention to that particular lane because there's going to be a lot of the action happening over there that you want to be paying attention to. And then utilizing that information, paying attention, and then taking your kills, okay? So these are some of the things that you need to be paying attention to, okay? So right now, I'm going to list some of the laners that you guys want to be paying attention to, and then which also marks some of these things. So for the top lane, it's obviously going to be any bruisery guy who's melee, what did I mention? Melee guy. Jax can also go both Ignite and TP, depending on his playstyle, obviously. Who else? Who is also kind of melee and bruisery? Camille, right? We have Fiora, right? We have Darius, right? These are all of the insanely good laners to gank early on, whether it's on your team or the enemy team. You're gonna have fun ganking these lanes, especially because majority of them have either a good follow-up such as Fiora Q, or Camille with her E, maybe R, Darius with his E, Jax with his stun on E, and Q jump and all of that stuff together. Mid lane, I already mentioned. If you have, let's say, Malzahar, right? Obviously, you want to make sure after level 6, to gank this guy. You might have Svainmir, who will be able to use his E. That's a good stun. You might have a Galio, right? Once again, stun. He also might go TP. He might go Ignite. Can go very flexible. Lux is also fine, but Lux can also go into the support one. Who else? Like Gragas, right? All of these guys have some type of a CC, or they might be running Ignite, such as also LeBlanc, Talon, Fizz, and I can do this till tomorrow, just listing all of these guys, that if they run Ignite, boom, that's a go-to lane too that you probably want to be paying attention to more than the other lanes, right? And then the last one, I'm gonna just put the bot side as the one, right? Usually, the more important guy is gonna be looking for the support. If you have somebody like Nautilus, right? Not Nautilus, right? This guy super good to gank. Has a in like generally speaking for the bot side. If you find yourself having any hook shot champion, anybody who stuns, anybody who can set up a kill, you definitely want to visit that lane. Or generally speaking, anybody who has a good engage, such as Nautilus, such as Leona, such as Amumu, right? You want to be reaching out to this lane and then using your ganks on this particular lane, wasting the enemy laner's sums, maybe into the first sequence, and then on second clear, AK sequence, right? Um, just making sure you get a kills and boost your laners over there. Okay, so this is something you guys need to be paying attention to, and it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. To repeat it once again, CC/snowbally lanes, and then thus make a prioritization. Now, when it comes to the question, who do you not want to gank? You do not want to be wasting time, especially on the bot side. If you have something like maybe Ezreal, right? You have freaking Ezreal, and he has also Yumi on his head, right? You're just better off letting this guy scale up. Boom, have his time. He's gonna be very useful later on. If there is a free kill on Ezreal Yumi, just go. Give him a gank. But usually it's way better, if you have LeBlanc here that you can gank, or Darius, or whoever is here, that you can start a snowball through, right? Then onto the top lane, anytime you see a tanky guy, just run away. Just run away from that lane. Maybe early on, if you see Mundo, if you see Ornn, if you see any of those like super tanky guys, they're only good if you see an opportunity early game to gank them, and then later on you just want to stay away from them and then do your own job, because no matter how many times you actually kill enemy Ornn, which is top laner, he's always going to ult your whole team and knock them into the space, right? But if you manage to kill enemy Vayne, 10 times, obviously this is going to give you better return on investment, because Vayne is extremely item reliant. She needs items in order to be useful. Ornn doesn't need items. Ornn will still have, with his one or two items that he will have, his art to knock all of the people from your team and then CC them, while Vayne will not have the damage, and on top of that she doesn't have that much CC besides maybe her condemn, which is her E. So when it comes to who do you not want to gank, it's usually going to be the worst possible return on investment if you gank the tanky guys, unless it is complete early game and then people are still not buying Ninja Tabis, aka the Plated Steel Caps, which people call them also these days, Mercury Shreds, or anybody else like Sion, Ornn. Even I would like to add the I forgot the name of, but has the tentacles onto the top lane. I forgot the name of Eloy, right? So basically, pretty much Eloy top lane. After getting level 6, you probably want to stay away from that lane and try to win through mid, try to win through bot side, and then do as best as you possibly can. So as you practice it more and more, make your mind think about this thing every single game. It just becomes a 1 second process, while that's pretty much the way the information gets processed once you learn to utilize it really, really well. Okay, so I think that's clear for now.